Well, the sage in bloom may be sweet perfume deep in the heart of Texas, but the baseball here this year, well, there's a foul odor here in Arlington. It has been a rough season for the Texas Rangers, and the Braves hope to keep that piling on as we start a big three-game set here in the home of the Rangers. Braves baseball brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, the low price. Odd time for an interleague series, but we face off with the AL cellar dwellers, the Texas Rangers, in game one of our three-game series. Hi again, friends. Along with Paul Bird, who's filling in for Joe Simpson tonight, I'm Chip Carey. Welcome to Arlington, where the Braves have a shot to really gain some ground in the division race and the wild card race, Paul. Things haven't gone well for the Rangers, and tonight, game one, a battle of two talented left-handers.
From here on out, every game that the Braves play is the most important game of the season. They do have to make ground, and you're right, we got a great pitching matchup here for game one.
Alex Wood gets the ball for the Braves, arguably, Paul, the hottest pitcher for the Braves, as you see.
He's on fire. I can't believe how young this guy is. 2 years out of UGA, pitching like a 30-year-old veteran. And Derek Holland has also been outstanding. So I know the Rangers have struggled a little bit, but with a great pitching matchup, anything can happen.
64 different players have worn a Rangers uniform this year. That is a major league record. One constant, though, is Adrian Beltre, their slugging third baseman. You can't let him beat you tonight.
No, if there's ever a time to pitch around a guy in a lineup, it's tonight. Hitting .324, significantly better than any of their other hitters, and you just don't want to let this guy beat you. So if Alex Wood gets in the right situation, look for him to pitch around Beltre tonight.
Texas has lost 11 of its last 12. The Braves coming off a big win against the Washington Nationals and a day off yesterday. Can't let the third best hitter in baseball beat you in game one of the series. And Alex Wood hopes to keep his season rolling merrily along. Glad you're with us tonight. Interleague play in Arlington. Starting lineups and our first pitch coming up right after this. Brought to you by our friends at Blimpie. We welcome you to Globe Life Park here in Arlington, Texas. It's a gorgeous night for baseball. They had temperatures up around 100 degrees here just a few short days ago, but a storm has blown through town. It is a cool, comfortable night for the Braves and Rangers, who meet in Game 1 of this series. Big series for Atlanta. Here's the Toyota starting nine. The DH is in play for Atlanta, and unfortunately Evan Gattis still not able to go, so Ryan Domit will act as the Braves designated hitter, and BJ Upton, another one of Freddie Gonzalez's beneficial matchups for the Braves center fielder. Look at what he's done against Derek Holland in his career. 9 for 19. He'll hit 8th tonight, and hopefully the Braves will have their hitting shoes on, because Derek Holland is back from injury, Paul, and he is pitching great ball for Texas.
Well, he's been outstanding and winning over 30 games over the last 3 years. And look at that. In 2 starts, 7+ innings, no walks, 1 runner fewer. Only one other pitcher has done that in the last 144 starts. I think that's incredible. There's his 4 keys to the game, and you'll see the Braveheart charge. This guy comes right at you, Chip, with 4 pitches, doesn't walk guys, as we saw earlier, and Sanka into left-handed hitters. No, I'm not talking about bad coffee. I'm talking about a nasty sinker that comes in on the left-handers and keeps everybody honest for the breaking ball and fastball away.
Well, here's Texas's defensive lineup. The Rangers have committed 97 errors this year. Robertson, Martin, and Choice from left to right in the outfield. You know about the veterans on the left side of the infield. Beltre and former Brave farmhand Elvis Andrews. Rougned Odor is their young second baseman. They like him a lot. Rua is the first baseman. Robinson Chirinos has missed the last 10 games. He's a terrific catcher. They like him a lot. Of course, Holland is the Texas pitcher. So that's job number 1 for Alex Wood. Don't let Beltre be the deciding factor offensively. Holland ready to go. So's Jason Hayward, and we're underway. .65 degrees in Arlington, Texas. Who would have thought that? Swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
This is what we talked about with Holland. He just comes right at you, doesn't walk you. 4 different pitches, and from the left side, pretty tough.
Well, the Rangers have to be very, very excited about what Holland has done, albeit in only 2 starts since coming back from the surgery in the back of his knee. Well, just a couple of years ago, this man was a 18-game winner here for the Rangers.
When I talked to their coaches, they didn't really want to talk about the numbers. They wanted to talk about how hard a worker he was and how he really busted it to come back from his injury. And that kind of fits his personality on the mound.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Jason. And foul at the plate. This is a terrific hitter's park. It's a spacious park. 404 feet to straightaway center, 390 to the left center field alley, 377 to right center, 349 to right, and 354 to left. A very high wall. Those are big dimensions, but in the heat of the summer, the ball really flies here. And a swing and a miss takes care of Jason Hayward. Holland has his first strikeout of the night.
This is his best secondary pitch, a slider. It's about 83 to 85 miles an hour, and very tough on the left-handed hitters because he throws it so hard. His 4-seamer will be in that 90 to 95 miles an hour range. Throws a curve 12% of the time, and changeup as well.
Phil Gosselin gets the start for the Braves tonight. Phil at second base. He's hit a homer. He's knocked in 2 and is batting .288 for the year. Beltre even with the bag at third base. And that went in for a called strike. And that's low and outside. 2-1 your count.
I've been impressed with Gosselin. He's at that nice bat speed. Seems to be fresh in September. Led AAA with a 344 average, which that's really saying something. There's not a whole lot of difference between AAA and the big leagues. There is some, but 344 is 344. And I think this young man, especially with his versatility, is going to lead a lot to the Braves.
Yeah, Freddie has said it's not a platoon by any stretch with Tommy La Stella, but he's trying to pick his spots to get Gosselin in the game. as you mentioned, his versatility. And that he's a right-hand hitter against Holland gives him maybe a leg up tonight. He has done a good job wherever he's played on the Atlanta infield. He's even seen a little time in the outfield too, which again speaks to his versatility for the Braves. Now 3-2 pitch is in the air towards center. Martin got a good jump and handles that hot line drive for the second out. Two outs, and here's Freddie Freeman. Special day today for the Braves first baseman. To be 25 again.
Hey, and I got to tell you, on your birthday, good things are supposed to happen. So we'll see if some balls drop in. Maybe he gets a couple extra calls on the outside corner that goes his way.
Well, he's swinging the bat like he was in April at the moment for the Braves. He's riding a nice hitting streak.
He really is. And coming back against the Nats, you know, he struggles against the Marlins. I have no idea why he struggles to hit their pitching, but he does. And then the Nats, who have great pitching, he turns around and sticks it to him.
Quickly down 0-2. And that's up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Freddie has 10 hits in his last 28 at bats. His average at .292. Pop fly out of play, and Freddie's good work is our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot feature. More innings than anybody else, even the praying mantis Hunter Pence. 4th in the league in extra base hits and on base percentage. And it's real simple, Paul. If Freeman and Justin Upton hit, the Braves have a chance to win. It's maybe unfair to state it that simply, but that's the way this year has gone from an offensive standpoint.
I agree, and especially if he hits a home run. He's also #1 in the league at giving out hugs, which usually accompanies the long ball.
Pollard ready for his 7th pitch to Freddie Freeman. And here it comes. It's blocked by Chirinos. 2-2.
One thing we have to watch for with Holland is his body language. They say he'll get in a groove. He'll start working fast. You'll see the shoulders come back. And if the Braves see that tempo starting to increase, it's when you step out and try to slow the game down.
Broken bat. How about that pitch? The bat shattered at the plate. Shards are all over the home plate ump area. Mike Everett, the home plate ump, has to do a little housekeeping to take care of that.
That's that two-seamer we talked about before the game that's in on the hands of lefties. Not a lot of pitchers can throw that. Left-handers into left-handers throw the fastball that runs in on their hands. Chip, I don't know why that is. It's just a hard pitch for left-handers to throw. It's hard for them to wear their hat straight. I don't know why that is either. So when you have a lefty that can do that, it's special, and especially if he has that nice slider away and fastball away to lock him up.
He's had to work here in the first inning. 21 pitches. #10 to Freeman. And he subdued him with a swinging strike. Couple of strikeouts for Holland in the opening inning. Now Alex Wood will try to answer as he faces the Rangers for the first time in his young MLB career. Hopefully Atlanta can give them something to cheer about as they try to knock off the 54-92 Texas Rangers. Their Toyota starting lineup presented by their interim skipper Tim Bogar. That's one of the big stories for Texas here over the last 10 days or so. Their lineup anchored by Adrian Beltre. He is a terrific player, a Hall of Fame candidate, I think, at third base, and having another terrific year, and really has helped carry this Rangers offense almost single-handedly with all the injuries they've had to deal with. And that means Alex Wood has to pay special attention to him should anyone reach for the Rangers ahead of their cleanup hitter.
Well, and unfortunately, Alex Wood does not get good run support. As you see, 4th lowest in the National League. But what's impressed me the most about him is he hasn't changed his strategy. He hasn't done anything different. He hasn't let it bother him.
And he'll face off with Leonis Martin, who homered here last night against the Angels. Martin is from Cuba and lives in Weston, Florida in the offseason. Big swing and miss.
Here's the forward pitching keys to success, and I'll say the grips to success. There on the left, that's the two-seam fastball that he'll have to keep down today. And that incredible yo-yo changeup he's got that he throws off the end of his hand that is absolutely fantastic.
Tell you what, Fox Sports South has spent a lot of money on hand models over the years. I think all they had to do was look at you and it would have been.
And business. Why? And why? Did you see the cuticles right there? I got a future in hand modeling if broadcasting doesn't work out.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Wood off to a good start. He got Martin to swing and miss. And this duel of left-handers off to a swing and a miss start. That's 3 strikeouts combined by the starters so far.
That's an excellent curveball. Wood working both sides of the plate to that fastball. Lefties get the curve, righties get the change.
Here's Elvis Andrus. Andrus at 263, a couple of homers, 34 knocked in. You'll recall Andrus was part of the big Mark Teixeira trade consummated between the Braves and Rangers a few years ago. And they are a little concerned about what Elvis is doing at the plate, which is to say he's had a down year. It's 34 RBIs for him. And in the papers today, Tim Bogar and some of the Rangers were talking about mental lapses by Andrus, especially with runners in scoring position. He has not hit well in those situations this year, and what concerns them is he's got a big contract that kicks in at the start of next year.
There's Tim Bogar, my former teammate, the New York Mets, one of my favorite people in baseball. Really pulling for him to get this job next year, which I think the rest of this year is a tryout to see how he's going to do.
And that's the big story here in Texas. Ron Washington, the winningest manager in Rangers history, resigned here last week. And Tim Bogar has taken the interim managerial job. Bouncing ball towards short. Simmons gloves and flips to first, and Andrus is the second out. Well, that's a tough assignment for Tim Bogar. You have a 92-loss club that has been ravaged by injuries all year, and Ron Washington, who, as of a couple of weeks ago, was looking forward to 2015, isn't here anymore. And what can Tim Bogar do to impress management, maybe get a second look at a full-time job?
And I think they're looking for an atmosphere where the players are relaxed, they're having fun, they're playing hard, hustling. And I think that's a sign of a great leader, is getting the most out of the players, and they're looking to see how that turns out over the last couple of weeks.
This is JPR Ancibia, the former Toronto Blue Jay. He's the designated hitter for Texas and batting 167.
There's that great changeup from Alex Wood. And if you haven't seen that changeup, it's almost not fair because it looks just like that fastball. And I don't want to say the Bugs Bunny changeup that stops halfway to home, but if anything, it really slows down. It's just like that fastball, and you'll see guys almost get hurt swinging at it like he did right there.
Let's see what Bethancourt wants Alex to throw with this pitch. There's a fastball and it missed inside. So it's a 2-2 count now. Don't want to walk him ahead of Beltre, the man who waits next. And fouled straight back. It's still 3 balls, 2 strikes. We'll keep you up to date on all the other scores. The Braves start play tonight. 2 games back in the wild card chase. Pirates are hosting the Cubs. Brewers are hosting the Reds. And the Mets are hosting the Nationals. And ground ball again to short. Simmons to his left, gloves, and gets his man. 3 up, 3 down for Alex Woods. 1 scoreless inning in the books tonight at Globe Life Park.
Second with no score. Now on Wednesday, Andrelton Simmons wasn't in the starting lineup. Hello everybody, I'm Andre Aldridge. Simba was getting a little frustrated maybe at some of his at-bats when he wasn't productive before, but he told me earlier it isn't about me right now at this time of the year, it's about we.
At this time of the season, it's not even, you don't even care how you're doing, you just want to end up winning the game. It doesn't really matter how it happens. You just want to win games and make it to the playoffs.
So for this 16-game sprint, as Justin Upton steps up to the plate, Andrelton wants to be on the field all the time. And make no mistake about it, his focus, like the entire Braves clubhouse, is only about winning and advancing to the clubhouse, guys, advancing to the playoffs.
Thank you, Andre. Yeah, that's got to happen. Braves have 1 more off day left as Upton drives one deep toward right center field. And that one's going to be caught for out number 1. That's Choice in right for Texas, and Upton is retired for the first out.
I really have to say that I love Andrelton Simmons' comments. You would think that everybody would have that attitude, but I can tell you as a former player, it's just simply not the case. Guys get selfish. They're thinking about next year. They're thinking about their own numbers, contracts. And yes, it is the time of the year where every game is their most important game. So it means that you get hit with the pitch, you move guys over. If you're the 3rd or 4th hitter and it calls for a bunt, you bunt. You do whatever you can to win the game tonight.
Ryan Doman is the Braves' DH tonight. Kevin Gadd is still sidelined from the effects of strep throat. Doman drives one toward right. Another chance for Choice. He's got it. 2 out. Hopefully Gaddis will be able to play at some point in this series. We've got an early day game tomorrow, another day game on Sunday, and then we're headed back to Atlanta. After a long first inning for Holland, he has the first 2 outs very quickly here in the second, and Chris Johnson's coming up. and miss.
That's not fair, starting him off with the first pitch curveball. Chris Johnson, a great contact hitter, can hit the ball to all fields. See what he does here.
Popped it up in shallow right. Choice a chance to tie a record held by many, but he overran it. Little routine fly ball into right field, and Choice just overran it. And it dropped harmlessly behind him for a blue pit for Chris Johnson and a big Atlanta break. It's very gray leaden sky overhead. Didn't look like he was searching for the ball. He just misplayed it.
I'm not sure what happened there. That usually happens at twilight when you have that light blue sky, but this is gray. It looks like possibly rain could be coming, and I don't know that he ever saw it.
So that's the first Atlanta hit of the game. It'll bring Christian Bethancourt to the dish. He's batting .274, 6 RBIs. And a quick strike.
Each one of those 6 RBIs have been crucial, Chip. He's really gotten some big hits. I know no home runs yet, but he has really done a nice job of getting the hits when they count.
Sharply hit to Beltre, who makes a backhand stab and fires to second in time to force Chris Johnson. And that retires the side. Beltre leads off the Texas second. We have no score.
Of me giving up some home runs here and a lot of base hits, which has happened at a lot of different places, but especially here. So here's the reason why. It's built like a coliseum. As you can see in center field, it goes straight up. Same thing behind home plate. They put the suites in behind home plate, which filled everything, so that wind comes over center field. It takes a U-turn and heads right out to right center field. So this, along with Cincinnati, Coors Field, and up in Philadelphia, is simply one of the best parks to hit at. Hitters know it, pitchers know it. Some change their game, some just keep doing the same thing they've always done.
Well, you know, this guy knows how to hit in this park. Adrian Beltre, the Texas third baseman, gets it started. Beltre at .324, good for third in the American League. 18 homers, 71 knocked in. Always hits lefties well. Closing in on 400 career homers and 2,500 major league hits. Popped up back toward us and out of play.
I agree with you. He should be considered for the Hall of Fame. I think he's underrated. I think he's also underrated as a person. When I was playing for the Angels and Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, and I had a house full of people, my wife being from New Orleans, he played for the Mariners, and when I got to my locker, he had a locker full of stuff waiting for me to go to auction to raise money for the victims. And After that, I thought, man, this guy's not just a great player, but a great person as well.
And I shortchanged him on his hits. He's already over 2,500 hits. He's closing in on 2,600 hits. 2,585 in his career. As mentioned, Dodgers, Mariners, now Texas. And Wood got him looking with an inside corner pitch that Beltre thought was low. He'll have a word with Mike Everett. And there's out number one.
I think this is outstanding. After a fastball in, he comes back with a curveball down and in to a right-hander. Beltre may have a little something to complain about right there, but I think it looks pretty good. Am I allowed to say that Fox Pitch Tracks may have it wrong?
Yeah.
We're still friends?
Well, yeah, but you're a pitcher. Anything that's within a foot of the plate you think is a strike. So
everything's bigger in Texas,
yeah,
including the strike zone.
There you go. So here is Ryan Rua. Rua getting an extended look at first base for Texas. He's been a second baseman for much of his minor league career, and they're playing him at second and first to see if he can hit major league pitching. They love his power. Last year, this kid hit 32 homers between Hickory and Frisco in 127 games. This year, the big leagues, homerless with 6 RBIs, but a .260 average in a small playing sample. This one's popped up. Let's see if Hayward has any trouble. How about that play? Gosselin was looking straight up in the sky and had no idea where the ball was, and it drifted 40 feet behind him to right fielder Jason Hayward. Watch this. He's got it.
And there's the signal. I don't see it. Does anybody else? And Hayward comes in showing why he's a Gold Glover.
No harm, no foul as Robinson Chirinos, the catcher, stands in. Chirinos did not make this club out of spring training. Giovanni Soto was their go-to catcher, but like so many of these Rangers, he was hurt. So Chirinos has stepped in and done a nice job for the Rangers. I like his work behind the plate. He's hit 11 homers. He was originally a Cub. Went to Tampa Bay in the Matt Garza deal. Missed the entire 2012 season with injury. And then with Texas last year, got in 13 games with 179 average. That's bounced foul at third, and Chirinos a 1-2 count.
Many players on this team, unfortunately, on the Rangers are learning at the big league level. A lot of times you want to learn at AA, AAA, and then get up there and be ready. And they just have so many young guys with all the injuries that the time is now.
Well, as I said before, I'm not trying to be silly at all, but when we throw out a number, they've used 64 different players. Again, imagine your 25-man major league roster all wiped out with injury. You bring your entire AAA team up, that's 25 guys, and add 11 more. 12 more, 13 more. You know, it's been a miserable season for the Texas Rangers. And Alex Wood's keeping it that way offensively. He's got 3 strikeouts through 2. Has arrived. It is raining ever so slightly here in Arlington, where we head to the third inning, and Derek Holland back to work for the Rangers.
We'll see if that can slow Mr. Holland down a little bit, but he has been outstanding. Coming back from surgery, only 2 starts, but look at those numbers in 11, 12, and 13. 16, 12, 10 wins, and a great ERA. I know the 2012 ERA isn't the best, but keep in mind, this is one of the best places to hit in all of baseball. So not just a great win total, but the ERA is as well.
Couple of strikeouts for him. A misjudged fly ball ruled a hit. Now his nemesis B.J. Upton leads things off for Atlanta here in the third inning. Upton playing because he has excellent numbers head-to-head against Derek Holland.
He's my pick to click, Chip.
Okay.
The Braves live pregame, so we'll see how he does. I like that BJ's hit in this park before, former American leaguer. And no, he's having a year that he would say he's not happy with, but I think from here on out, anybody that gets hot has a chance to be a hero.
Lined over short. That's going to try to split the gap. And Upton's at first with the second Atlanta hit, so his good work continues against Holland. And Upton a threat to steal. Let's see if the Braves put him in motion and force the issue here in the third inning.
Curveball on the outside part of the plate. BJ does not try to do too much. Works it right up the middle. Outstanding swing on that kind of pitch. I think if you get that hanging curveball, that's when you air it out and try to hit it 10 rows deep or off the Jack Daniels sign. But when you get that backdoor breaking ball, if you try to swing too hard at that, it's really hard to make anything happen.
Let's see if Simmons can move Upton along here. Some big swings. That's really something that has plagued Angleton over the last couple of weeks. Big swings and misses. As a result, his average has plummeted to 240. If you do decide to straight steal here, you've got to be wary of Chirinos. He's done a nice job throwing out base stealers this year. Texas catcher has retired 22 of 63 would-be base stealers.
I was talking to Benji Molina, my former catcher on the Angels, Gold Glover.
That's what you want to see Simmons do. A shot to right field. Upton around second. He'll go to third without a throw, and the Braves are in business. Runners at the corners on back-to-back third-inning hits. That is what the Braves want Andrelton Simmons to do.
I agree with you, Chip. Ball down the middle. Again, nice shooting it the other way. I think he's at the best when he is not pull happy. And great base running by BJ right there. He's on top of it. Nice round to second base. And we got action.
So first and third for the Braves. Nobody out. And the top of the order, Jason Hayward.
What I was saying earlier about Benji Molina, just outstanding coach for Chirinos. I'm a huge Benji Molina fan out of Puerto Rico. And he said Chirinos is willing to listen. He's willing to learn, but he's also learning at the big league level.
A chopper to first. Texas will go to second for one. Return throw to first. Not in time. Rua, I guess, had his foot off the base, or Hayward beat the wrap. Upton scores, and Atlanta leads 1-0. So Hayward made contact. Upton scored. Jason safe at first. Simmons forced at second for the first out. And a rare early lead for Alex Wood.
Things are happening so fast, Chip, I can't even get in a story. We got Holland on the mound throwing strikes, and the bottom part of the order getting hits, and now Jay Hay, lefty-lefty matchup, which he's better against righties and just puts the ball in play and scores that run. Not necessarily the timely hit, but it gets the job done, and he legged out.
Now Hayward broke and is in a rundown between first and second. And he will be in safely. Hayward got in ahead of Elvis Andrus, who tried to chase him down to the first base bag. Wow, you almost never see that.
That is crazy. Hayward picked off. Now, he has the option to try for interference and to grab Rule right there. Rule gets out of the way, and he takes that dive back into first. Excellent athletic ability from a 6'5" big man.
Let's see if the Braves got a break on the play at first. Was Hayward safe or out?
Ooh. I think we got away with one.
And that's too high to Phil Gosselin. 1 ball, no strikes.
I think Tim Bogart could have thrown the flag. That's a big out.
They had him leaning, but the throw to first wasn't close. Again, Rua is a second baseman by trade, learning how to play first base up here, and let's see how he caught this ball. No, he never had a chance.
You saw that little stutter step by Hayward, and when you see that as a pitcher or anyone on the team, you know that he's going already being picked off earlier, making it back safe. So you know what they're trying to do, and now you have to be quick to home and pitch accordingly. Not every pitcher can be quick to home and make their pitches. As you see Holland down in the count 2-0.
And he missed low and away. 3 balls, no strikes. B.J. Upton started the inning with a single over short. Simmons with a base hit to right. Hayward bounced into a force play. Upton scored on the force out at second. Jason beat the ramp at first. In for a called strike.
And you see that nice easy motion 3-0. Throwing it down the middle, not worried about Hayward going on a 3-0 pitch, so he's able to just locate and throw that strike.
Base hit by Gosselin to left. So Atlanta threatens again, first and second with 1 out. And now the big poppers are coming up. Freddie Freeman and Justin Upton. And let's take a look at the birthday boy on our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard.
Did you see the streaks? On base streaks. If you're into the, hey, I don't care how you get there, you just got to get to first base. You got to be excited with Freddie Freeman.
Boy, the weather has certainly turned nasty. Swirling winds and that mist and rain. Fly balls figure to be an adventure. Let's see if Freeman can hit one here. It rained 2 and fouled it away. Strike 1.
Now, Chip, you know I'm from Kentucky and I love the horses.
Yeah.
And not every horse can run in the rain or the mud. And it's the same with an athlete. Not every pitcher, when the ball starts to get wet, are they able to make their pitches. I think it's much harder on the pitcher when the ball gets wet. You got to keep the ball in your glove. Sometimes if you start with it in your hand, it's tough to do that and change. So we'll see if Holland is able to make his pitches or if he's unable to spin the ball like he can when it's dry.
Only so much rosin will do, right? A situation like this. He hasn't gone to the rosin bag yet on this damp night at Globe Life. Atlanta with a 3-hit inning and scored the first run of the game. Didn't get the outside corner. Good try.
That's what Freeman does so well. He's that lefty breaking ball. He's able to lay off, which is why he hits 267 against lefties. Righties 303, which is a little bit of a drop off, but not that much. Why he can hit third or fourth and make something happen.
Line drive into center field past Elvis Andrus. And Atlanta has loaded the bases here in the top of the third inning. And that'll bring Mike Maddox to the mound. He's the Rangers pitching coach.
There's the curveball, not quite spinning as hard, and look at Freddie Freeman keeping that front shoulder on it, not hitting the field, and driving the ball up the middle. Outstanding piece of hitting against a great left-handed pitcher.
First bit of real trouble for Derek Holland since he's come back from the disabled list. Already down a run. The Braves have scored the game's first run, and now Justin Upton hits for a second time. Upton has never reached 100 RBIs in the major leagues. He's at 96 and counting. One swing could take care of that. Gonzalez has preached all year, keep the line moving. Atlanta has done that. Upton's the sixth hitter of the frame. 4 Braves singles in the inning. Holland threw 22 of those 49 pitches in the first inning. He's about to make his 50th here in the third. It's bounced into the Braves dugout, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
If you notice, Holland has been working Justin up and in. He now has the chance to go away. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but he's established the inside part of the plate. Because there's a jet stream to right, a lot of times you will see that 3 or 4 hitter, if they're a righty with power who can hit the ball the opposite way, they'll establish the inside part of the plate and make them wait for that pitch on the outside corner.
He danced inside and in the dirt, 2-2. We've seen it a lot this summer, Paul. If you pitch Upton away, he's got the ability to hit the ball away. There's a big gap between first and second. And when he starts hitting the ball to right, that means he's about ready to go on a real hot streak.
A number of Braves hitters, I believe, are like that. When they start to use all fields, they're at their best.
That's well foul and into the second deck.
Jason Hayward, Chris Johnson, and they're staying on the ball away. Chris Johnson even inside outs the ball. I feel like that's when they're at the top of their game and they're not too pull conscious.
Bases loaded for Upton. 2-2 pitch. Now he's got to throw him a strike or he'll trail 2-0. If he doesn't throw a strike, he has to throw a pitch that looks enough like a strike to get Upton to offer. Not an enviable position. Swing and a miss. Upton chased a ball in the dirt, and he will be struck out. That's the second out of the inning. It wasn't a strike.
It was a curveball, and Upton reads fastball and is fooled and swings, and you have to give credit to the pitcher in that situation for throwing a 3-2 curveball, something he has had trouble locating, or when he has located, giving up hits like he did to Freeman, and he throws it 3-2. And Justin chases.
So now there are 2 outs for Atlanta with the bags full, and Ryan Doumit, the hitter, he flied out to right. And had a good cut and sprays it back to the screen. Strike one. Four career grand slams. And for Ryan, only his second at bat with the bases loaded this year.
Well, the good news, Chip, is Alex Wood could be up there. So we're enjoying the DH right now. And those are pretty good numbers. We'll take 354 with the bases loaded.
Well, yeah, but remember, Alex Wood had a run-scoring hit down in Miami, so he's swinging a hot bat right now. He won't get a chance to play at the plate with the DH play in the AL ballpark.
You're right. What is Freddie doing?
I think he's playing the percentages. Ball the pitch. His bounce toward Beltre. He's got it, and he'll step on the third base bag. Atlanta had a great chance to extend their lead. They settle for one in the third inning, and Alex Wood enjoys an early lead. But got only one run. But a lead's a lead for Alex Wood, who earns our SunTrust Shining Moment honors tonight, Paul.
This guy can do it all. Changeup, curveball, and don't forget about the bat. 2 career RBIs. Congratulations in Miami. And Simba picking him up with the wheels. And he acts like he does that every day. And you're supposed to smile and give a little fist pump or something.
Tell you what, Alex says he's been terrific. He really has pitched good ball. 1.95 ERA over his last 8 outings. Major League opponents hitting just .201 against him. The saddest part is he's only won 3 of those games because the Braves have not scored many runs for him. So Rougned Odor is the second baseman for Texas, and he is here a little sooner than expected. This kid's just 20 years old, but they really have been impressed with the big league attitude that he has, and by that I mean he acts like he belongs at the ripe age of 20.
And those numbers are not that bad. I mean, he's holding his own. 255, just a hair under the major league average, 8 home runs, and like you said, he's 20 years old. 20 years old. I was trying to figure out how to throw a changeup at LSU. This guy yesterday hit third on a big league club.
So for a club looking for silver linings this year, Odor certainly is one. And that's what he does. There's no mistaking what he has in his mind. He does not get cheated at the plate. And Wood took advantage of that and has his 4th strikeout of the night.
After watching Alex Wood pitch early on, I thought he was a great pitcher. I did not know he was ready to do this. Talking to Frank Wren earlier today, because of injuries, he's been a starting pitcher for the Braves sooner than expected. They knew he was good, But arguably, you could say he's been the best pitcher this year.
He's done a great job. He's done a great job, no doubt about it. And remember, he was in the bullpen for a while. And Gavin Floyd came back. Line drive to right. And that takes care of Michael Choice. He came over from the Oakland A's after last year's play. And Alex Wood has set down the first 8 Rangers in order tonight. Daniel Robertson, 17 RBI man. Robertson was a San Diego Padres farmhand. And Tom Grieve, fine broadcaster for the Rangers, was telling us a story about Robertson before the game. When Texas acquired this kid, the San Diego folks said, okay, you've been traded to Texas. And he said, great, I love Round Rock. Meaning, I think I'm getting traded, I'm going to AAA. And they said, no, you're not going to Round Rock, you're going to the big league club. And here he is, getting a chance to play with this injury-riddled Rangers club. And Tapper off Alex Wood. Can he recover in time? No. And that's the first Texas hit, first Texas base runner. Tough break.
There's that sinker we talked about down and away. Hit just a little bit to the left, which is an awkward chance to turn your glove. And enough kick to make it happen.
So Wood will go to the stretch for the first time. And he'll face Leonis Martin. Who cracks one to right. Hayward on the run is going to get there. Martin hit it hard, but he's retired, and Wood has a 9-pitch third inning, and more importantly, a 1-0 lead in game 1. Pinch hitting for Joe Simpson tonight. Joe's got tonight off. He'll rejoin us for the Sunday finale here in Arlington, Texas. And rainy night at Globe Life Park. Paul.
Well, Chip, don't forget about the AT&T fan photo. It's now time for you to tweet your photo using #SouthFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T.
I think since we're here in Arlington, Texas, our fan photo tonight should be someone in cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, maybe riding an ostrich.
I like it. If you can pull that off, I'll be incredibly impressed.
I can't. I promise you I can't. But Gretchen can. I know Gretchen gets all the AT&T fan photos sent her way.
But I'm looking at alligator boots right now. You got the best boots in the league. You got everything except the ostrich.
Yeah. And the cash to pay for the boots. To be honest with you, 2 balls and a strike to Chris Johnson, who leads off the Braves' 4th. Chris picked up the first Atlanta hit, and he was forced out to end the 2nd inning. The squiver towards short. Elvis Andrus has it. And no blue suede shoes for Elvis, but he takes care of Chris with no trouble. Here's out number 1. Here's Bethancourt. He's the man to hit the ball to Beltre that ended the Atlanta second. Sure hope Evan Gattis gets a chance to play in this series. This is a big homecoming for him. He's from this part of the world. He was really fired up as the Braves made their way from Washington to Arlington a couple of days ago. Another shot toward third is rolling foul for strike 1.
It's a shame on all levels. I mean, the guy coming back home, the Braves need him in the lineup. It's a great park to hit. What a shame that he's going to have to rest up and get on the antibiotics.
Well, we'll see if he can go tomorrow or on Sunday afternoon. Inside, even count. B.J. Upton's next. We're in the 4th. Reds are beating the Brewers tonight. Pirates are beating the Cubs tonight. And the Mets are beating the Nationals tonight. The Stars play this evening. 8.5 out in the East with 3 games left with the Nationals beginning Monday night. Fly ball to right. Let's see if Choice can catch this one. He did. And there's out number 2. The other thing about the Nationals, we talked about it a lot, Paul, they have to play the Marlins a lot. They've got 8 games left with Miami, but boy, Miami, all of baseball, and frankly the Braves suffered a horrible blow last night when Giancarlo Stanton was hit in the face in Milwaukee. That was as awful an injury as we've seen in the game in a long time.
I agree with you. You could see the reaction from the pitcher. He did not mean to do that. There is a time to pitch inside. There is a time to hit somebody, and I'll say get somebody off the plate. The hitter has to get out of the way, but there is never, ever a time, no matter what, to intentionally throw at somebody's head or hit somebody in the head. And you could tell by his reaction he was deeply disturbed.
So were the Marlins, who had to pinch hit Reed Johnson. He got hit with a pitch. And then Casey McGee got upset because the umpires said that both Giancarlo Stanton, in trying to avoid that pitch to his face, and Reed Johnson, who was trying to check his swing on a ball that hit him on the hand, they were charged strikes, which got Miami upset as Beltre to a knee, and was that smash from B.J. Upton, and that will retire the side. 3 on 3 now in the Atlanta 4th. Middle of the order coming up for Texas. Andrus, Arancibia, and Beltre.
AT&T Uverse, and Synovus, the bank of here.
Paul Burt, Chip Carey with you from Arlington. Braves lead 1-0 in game 1 of our set against the Texas Rangers. News and notes around Major League Baseball. Told you about Giancarlo Stanton. News is he will probably not need surgery, but has to undergo some dental work after being hit last night. How about Chris Davis? Suspended 25 games, tested positive for amphetamines. Apparently he was taking Adderall for ADHD and did not have a medical clearance to do that. So he is lost at least through the rest of the regular season and the first 7-8 games of postseason play, should Baltimore continue to advance. Saw Chase Headley also hit around the jaw last night for the Yankees. And lastly on that list, big series underway later on tonight. The Dodgers and the Giants. LA leads the West by only 2 games.
A lot of stuff going on right now, Chip. I feel like every day something crazy comes out.
Well, the hard part for Baltimore, yes, they have a big divisional lead over the Yankees in the, take that back, it's over Toronto and by 10.5 over the Yankees now in the AL East. But Davis is the 3rd big run producing guy they've lost this year. Remember, Matt Wieters has been gone most of the season because of elbow problems, and they've lost Manny Machado. Now Davis. That has got to affect Baltimore come postseason time. Not having those 3 big thumpers in their lineup. In the case of Machado, a terrific defender at third base, as Andrews walks to start the 4th inning. Andrews is a fast man, so let's see what Tim Bogar has in store for us with J.P. Arancibia coming up. Mentioned Arancibia's woeful numbers, Paul. He homered last night. That is the first homer by a Rangers designated hitter since August 23rd.
And when you look in the lineup as a former pitcher and you see that the 3rd hitter is hitting 167 coming into today's game, now 166, you say, what in the world is going on? It's just the product of all the injuries, and you see Beltre, but this has immediately become Alex Wood's toughest inning so far, because you got Beltre coming up and you had that first pitch walk with nobody out, so now you have to hold a fast runner on, make your pitches, and you got a big boy on deck.
Well, the biggest boy the Rangers missed this year is Prince Fielder, a man that was almost never hurt. Sure enough, he comes over from Detroit. That big deal for Ian Kinsler, $30 million. And Prince Fielder has to have neck surgery. He is one of 11 different Rangers on the 60-day disabled list, which is crazy. You can get the high fastball.
And don't forget about my buddy Sim Choo Choo. The Choo Choo train. My teammate in Cleveland was outstanding, as you see the high changeup by Alex Wood that he gets away with.
Choo's had knee and elbow problems. Mitch Moreland, bad ankle, that required surgery, and that doesn't count all the pitching that Texas is without. So, look, this is a good team. They've won 90 games or more 4 straight years. They just haven't had their team together. And as you see, most DL uses in baseball, 26 different DL transactions. Bethancourt won't get it. That ball hit Arancibia. So a walk and a hit batsman has Texas in business, and Wood with a 1-run lead in immediate 4th inning trouble.
The 0-2 curveball hits him on that back foot going straight up. What a shame. You had a hitter that's struggling down 0-2 with the best hitter on the team on deck, so now you can't pitch around Beltre. You got to face him. But what I've loved so much about Alex Wood is, as we said earlier in the broadcast on Braves Live, chutzpah. This guy who just comes right at you. He's fearless. I think of the time that he got in trouble against the Marlins to Giancarlo and Casey McGee, and he struck out Stanton on 3 pitches, and he came back. This is with the bases loaded, game on the line, no room for error, 1-run lead, and then he threw Casey McGee a 3-1 slider and 3-2 changeup.
But here's where you don't want to be. Beltre is their best hitter, and he's in a game-changing spot with nobody out here in the fourth. Beltre took a disputed called third strike to lead off the Texas second. Rain has all but stopped, but still very windy and blowing out toward right. And Beltre had a home run cut. Look at where he ranks in hits by a third baseman. How about that list? I had to figure fans knew about George Brett and Wade Boggs, Brooks Robinson, Chipper Jones. I don't know how many fans would have had Adrian Beltre with almost 2,600 hits in the modern era. Guys are closing on 400 homers.
Underappreciated.
Pickoff play to second, and they got him. Elvis Andrus is picked off at second base. There's that patented Alex Wood pickoff. He's nailed a bunch of guys at second base this year, and that's a big first out.
That is incredible. Alex Wood showing you that he can pitch all 4 pitches. He can hit the ball. He can also pick you off second base if you're not careful. Excellent throw. Throw was perfect. Nice tag. And the timing play. Excellent timing with Simba and Alex Wood.
Now the double plays in order. Let's see if Beltre can hit it on the ground. Lions one out of play.
It's what amazes me, Chip. He's throwing 90 miles an hour. First pitch through by Beltre. Then he's fighting the second one off. He's coming right at Beltre and overmatching him with that funky delivery and sneaky fast fastball.
No swing. Count a ball and 2 strikes.
This is a great opportunity to go to the changeup. You see he's blowing on his hand because of the rain. Let's get permission to do that. I think if he throws his changeup right here after the fastball and curves.
He got his man. Big uppercut swing by Beltre, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
And Chip, I wanted the changeup, but I didn't get it. That's why I'm in the broadcasting booth and not on the field. He throws the curveball. Again, it's nasty. It's right there. And he said, Adrian who?
So the pickoff, the strikeout, leaves it up to Ryan Rua. Rua popped out to second. That was in the middle of the second inning for Texas. That's a ball. That's a foul ball. Strike 1. In the American League, Texas this year 7th in average, but dead last in runs scored. They're next to last in homers, and last in ERA. And astoundingly, since April 25th, Texas is 39-84. How about that run? Almost 40 games. Almost 50 games under 500, as you see Texas's ranks in all of Major League Baseball.
That's unusual because this is such a great place to hit. You don't expect them to be 27th in home runs and down in the offensive categories.
Well, they've got the worst record in the game because of the injuries. In all likelihood, they'll have the #1 overall pick in the draft, and if all goes right, they're going to have a lot of guys coming back from injury next year, ready to punish the rest of the AL West. The AL West that has seen the Angels blow it wide open. A 10-game lead over the Oakland A's, who not only haven't hit since the trade of Cespedes to the Red Sox, but with Sean Doolittle hurt, a bullpen that's imploded. They're trying to desperately make the playoffs in Oakland. They're trying to hold off the Royals, the Tigers, and the Mariners.
Great to see the Angels doing so well. I enjoyed playing out there for Mike Scioscia, the GM Jerry DiPoto with the Angels, my teammate on the Mets, along with Tim Bogar, Benji Molina in the dugout. We talked about him catching up the young catchers. I think that's when you know you're old and washed up, Chip. when all the guys you played with are either managing, GMing, or on the field. I feel like I just got in the game, but my gosh.
It was quick, doesn't it?
25 years have gone by. As you see, bogey right there.
Hot shot past Chris Johnson into the left field corner. Arancibia on his way to third, and he is going to stop. The pickoff play has loomed very large in this inning. Texas would have had the game tied on the Rua double into the left field corner. And remember, Arancibia with that sore foot after being hit by a pitch wasn't exactly flying around the base paths here. But they are at second and third with 2 out.
Rua does a nice job on this pitch, pulling the ball. As you can see, Chris Johnson diving. But the thing that strikes me about Rua is they said of the young players, he's got the most power. He's also the most versatile, which is a very unusual combination, that the guy with the most power can play in the infield and the outfield and all over the place.
Good try. Just better placement by Rua. So here's Chirinos. He struck out his first time up. And a strike at the knees. Speaking of old angels, a little history here last night. Albert Pujols on his way to a Hall of Fame career, right? Last night, his first ever 4 strikeout game in the major leagues. Pretty amazing. Wood ready for his 21st pitch of the frame. It's off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. A walk, a hit batsman, a pickoff, a strikeout, and a double. Yet Wood still leads 1-0. Not close. 3 balls and a strike. Odor waits next.
You have first base open. He's not going to give in here.
And he'll load him up. Bases full for Rougned Odor. Second Alex Wood walk of the inning and game. Odor struck out to lead off the 3rd inning. 1-0 Atlanta. Rangers with another big threat, this time here in the home 4th.
Bethancourt comes out to talk things over, and what I think he's saying right now is, hey, this is the guy that swings hard. Let's use that against him. Got to make your pitches. If we go breaking ball early, got to make sure it's in a good spot, because as you said, 20 years old, he's having fun. He's swinging as hard as he can, trying out for next year. And sometimes those young guys in this situation get amped up, and you're looking for that early swing and trying to use as a pitcher that aggressiveness against them.
Yeah, I was going to say that has to be a great thing for you to see from him now. He wants to hit the ball out of the park with every ounce of energy he's got. Swing and a ground ball to second, and that will end the inning. Alex Wood walks 2, hits a batter, picks off 1, strikes out 1, and leads by 1. What a weird game. We head to the 5th.
And rooting into Odor up at the plate. I love this pitch selection by Alex Wood. Give him what he thinks is a fastball. Alex Wood throws the slider. Much better choice than a changeup or curveball. And as you can see, Odor is excited, ready to swing, and grounds out to second base.
Yeah, he slid at the plate too, lost his footing and hit the bag hard at first base and was making his way gingerly out to second base. Obviously, he stays in the game as we move to the fifth with Atlanta up 1-0. Andrelton Simmons. Nice piece of hitting his first time up, a base hit to right, and that led to the first Atlanta run. He chased B.J. Upton over to third base, and Jason Hayward's fielder's choice brought him home for the game's only tally. Popped up out of play. Strike one.
And that is a time when you swing hard. It's 2-0, and you can see Simba almost fell down on that swing. He's thinking homer. He's excited, upset he just missed it. But you don't always have to swing like that. And I think at times the Braves felt like he was trying too hard, and that's why they gave him the day off. Also had tough numbers against Strasburg. Back in there today.
And way ahead in the count. Brewers 2, Cincinnati 1. That game is in the fourth inning. Milwaukee just scored 2 times. Pittsburgh leads the Cubs 4-3 in the sixth at PNC Park. Strike. Again, Atlanta trying to chase down Milwaukee first. Atlanta's a half game behind the Brewers and 2 behind the Pirates, who occupy the second National League wild card. And a shot up the middle, a base hit. Simmons is 2 for 2. And a good start in the Braves' fifth.
I don't think he likes it when they make him take a rest, because he's 3 for 3 after it. You see that fastball in, destroys it up the middle. So he's hit the ball the other way. Now he's pulled it. I can tell you as a pitcher, when you see that, you're frustrated. That means the hitter's clicking on all cylinders.
Now the top of the order, and Jason Hayward. Jason's RBI, the only run. And inside, ball, no strikes. Mets still lead Washington 4-3. That game's in the sixth inning in New York.
You've seen a lot of fastballs in from Holland, but this is the third time through the lineup. Jay Hay, not too familiar with Holland, being in a different league, but now he's seen him a couple times. And as a pitcher, when you start to face a hitter 3 and 4 times, you've got to change up your strategy and throw different things. And now he's going to the breaking ball over and over.
Broken bat. That's going to sneak through for a hit. Simmons around second gingerly with the wet track. And he'll make his way to third base and throw back toward first. And backed up by Rua. And again, Atlanta threatens runners first and third. Nobody out for Phil Gosselin.
This is another slider from Holland. Away. Jay Hay goes and gets it. Instead of going the other way, he hooks it. In life, real estate, marriage, it's all about timing, Chip, and that was no different. Perfectly placed right in the hit at a great time.
So the Braves fans start to chop and chant here on a rainy night. And Phil Gosselin with a chance to make some contact and extend the lead. Braves had first and third, nobody out in the third, settled for only 1 run. Can't let these opportunities slip through your fingers on the road, especially.
Did we bring a bus of fans from Atlanta? What is going on here? Tomahawk chop, that going all throughout the stadium. I like it.
It has been popular here in Texas, especially down in Houston. The Astros were still in the National League. And a strike. He's looking for their first hit tonight with a runner at third base. They're 1 for 3 overall with men in scoring position. That hit did not score a run. I don't think I've ever done a game in Texas The game time temperature was in the low 60s, and the fans were walking to their seats carrying cups of hot chocolate. And that's what just happened below us. 60 degrees and a drizzle. The heat of the summer, the idea of a hot chocolate in Texas is a melted Hershey bar by the time you get from the concession stand to your seats.
That's good stuff.
Big sports weekend here in Arlington. Gets started tonight with the Braves and Rangers. Play again here tomorrow afternoon, and tomorrow night at the Jerry Dome, as I like to call it, you've got UCLA and Texas. A big college football matchup. We wrap up the series Sunday. Head back to Atlanta for our final homestand of the year. Yanked foul by Gosselin, headed for the second deck and out of play.
And the book's out on Gosselin. This guy has great bat speed and can turn on that fastball. You remember against the Nats, Zimmerman was throwing the ball by everybody up high, and he was able to get to it. You saw him turn on the fastball earlier today, pulling it. And so now you see Holland, 2 breaking balls, and then he threw a high fastball that was a non-compete pitch over his head and went back to the breaker.
Holland has had to work. He has had a couple of 1-2-3 innings. The first of those was in the first inning when he threw 22 pitches. He struck out 2 Braves. But long at bat to Freeman drove the pitch count up. Now Gosselin doing the same here in the Braves' 5th.
Those are 2 great fastballs right there, and his catcher's telling him to be careful when he comes into Gosselin. He has to hit his spot. There's certain danger zones on every hitter, and sometimes your catcher will go out there and just remind you, give you a little break.
Two and two. Freeman's on deck. It's already a happy birthday for Freddie. He's 1 for 2 at the plate. Swing and a miss. Gosselin might have gotten a little anxious. Not sure if it was a strike. The result is, and he's out number 1.
This is that curveball in that has fastball spin that gets Gosselin, as you said, excited. He swings over top of the ball. I have been impressed with him as a hitter. But, you know, it's really tough with first and third and nobody out and not being able to get anybody in. We've talked about that timely hit with the Braves. Gosselin really wanting to make something happen there and just not able to do it.
Well, let's see what Freeman can do. Double play, though, in order for Holland. Bouncing ball to second. Odor to Andrews for 1. On to first, 2. A double play. And Atlanta's offensive woes continue against Holland in the 5th. First and third, nobody out. Braves can't add to a 1-0 lead.
And he said when he was 9 years old, his coach said he should try and stick his keister hind end, I don't know what I'm allowed to say, in the catcher's mitt. So he started tilting back and sticking on that lead hip, and that's what came out in the wash.
And it is such a unique delivery. I mean, I've said it's like going backwards and forwards at the same time. I think your description of Alex's motion to our friends with the Texas Ball Club was even more succinct and to the point.
You like that? Well, I've said it's like a bow and arrow where you push and pull at the same time. As you can see, that front hip, that rump going right to the catcher's glove, but the back arm is going away. So he's pushing and pulling at the same time. And he's been doing this since he's 9 years old, leading with that hip. His deception is fantastic. Who says you can't learn something in Little League when you're 9 and take it into the big leagues?
Well, it's certainly not a delivery I think you would teach in this day and age of baseball, but it's worked for Alex. And to his credit and the Braves' credit, they haven't tried to change it. Why?
Because of what you just said, it works. It's like Ichiro hitting. You would never teach the run and hit philosophy that he employs. And same thing with Alex Wood. You would not teach this delivery. But he hits his spots. He throws hard. He's deceptive. Nobody can pick up on that fastball, so you don't dare mess with it.
Michael Choice is the hitter. Choice came over from Oakland in a deal for Craig Gentry in December of last year. This guy was a very highly touted prospect with the Oakland A's. Folks we talked to feel he has had a disappointing run with the Rangers, and he will outrun the baseball as that might have been soaking wet. Looked like Bethancourt couldn't get a grip on it, and on the strikeout, Choice will reach first on a ball in the dirt.
This is a little bit like mud football right now, Chip. You don't know what you're going to get when you pick up that ball and it's wet, a little bit of mud. Bethancourt unable to block it, and then when he picks it up, obviously having trouble with the grip, and throws it right into the ground.
So it's a strikeout and a wild pitch. Wood with 6 strikeouts officially tonight. And Daniel Robertson, the hitter, he had an infield hit, ball that popped into and out of the glove of Alex Wood in the 3rd inning. That was the first hit for the Rangers in the game. That way outside. The rain has begun again. Not as heavily as a couple of innings ago, but just a heavy swirling mist.
Coming down enough to change the game.
All we need is the San Francisco Crab, and we think we're at Candlestick.
How about that place? Wow. Most amazing thing about Candlestick is it drops 15 degrees from the afternoon to the night. The owner, they never showed him that park except in the middle of the day.
Forrest Stone in the late 50s when he came out, took him out to Candlestick Point in the early afternoon. Candlestick Point was a landfill. Beautiful prime piece of property overlooking the bay. So this is where we're building the ballpark. Well, you're right, it was tough. This ball's popped up. This will be interesting. Anderson Simmons with the windshield wipers on has no trouble and takes care of Robertson for the first out.
Simba says, "I got you." So before every player steps to the plate, the pitcher will look, and he will look at the shortstop, and he will either say, "I got you" on a double play, or he will point and you will look over at the second baseman. And so you know if a ground ball is hit back to you as the pitcher, you want to know who's covering the bag so you know how to lead the throw.
Martin with a bunt try. Rolled it foul. He's been one of their hottest hitters. 12 hits in his last 27 at bats, and really got a confidence boost from Tim Bogart. We mentioned Bogart took over for Ron Washington, and he's put his stamp on this club in this way. He's told Martin, "You're going to be my leadoff guy. Go play." And this young man has swung the bat with a lot of confidence as a result of that of late for Texas. And we are told not only is he a plus guy at the plate, he may have one of the best arms from the outfield in the American League. We have not seen that in this series yet.
A great hitter that can throw, that can run. That's your guy. And Tim Bogart, I really have to give him credit for saying that, because being a manager is about dealing with people. And if you need to compliment somebody and tell them something to make them feel safe, like you've got the job, you need to know who you need to do that with. And he made a great move with Martin.
Swing and a miss. Martin didn't get a pitch from Alex Wood, who has 7 strikeouts.
There's that nice curveball lefty on lefty by Alex Wood, throwing everything out of the same arm slot. That is disgusting.
Mentioned the issues of focus for Elvis Andrus. Biggest play in the game for Texas came while he was at second base. Alex Wood picked him off in the 4th inning. With 2 outs, Rua doubled, and Texas had to settle for runners at the 2nd and 3rd. Then an intentional walk and a ground out ended the Rangers' threat. A rough year for Elvis Andrus. He's 0 for 1 with a walk.
That pitch right there is one of the reasons why Alex Wood is so successful. A slide step fastball in, which is, you're playing with the danger zone when you go in late in the game, and he's able to execute his pitch perfectly, call the ball. I thought the umpire missed it.
Line towards Simmons, who had a little trouble with that ball off the bat, but he makes the play to retire the side. Couple of strikeouts for Alex Wood. He leads going to the 6th inning with Justin Upton ready to go to work for Atlanta, which leads the game 1-0.
To the top of the 6th inning with the Braves leading 1-0. The Bravos haven't been in this ballpark for 6 years, so not too many guys have been here at all. Sure, B.J. Upton had a lot of at-bats in this ballpark as a member of the Rays, but for Jason Hayward, he said, look, I know it's different, but really it isn't like down in Houston where they have a berm in the middle of center field that somebody has to run up. So even though it's a little bit different, we just kind of lean on BJ, also lean on the former Ranger, Gerald Laird, as far as how to deal with things defensively and offensively. Hopefully get some love from Justin Upton.
Yeah, thank you, Andre. I like interleague play. I don't like the fact that we're playing an interleague game in September. Unfortunately, with 15 teams in each league, you are going to have an interleague game every day in the Major League season. However, the Braves, I believe, are fortunate that they're playing a Texas team that's got 92 losses. If they were at first place by 8 or 9 games, we'd really be barking. But the Braves taking care of business, leading 1-0. And pitch number 90 to Justin Upton is high and tight. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And you can see where they like pitching Justin, continue to work in that inside part of the plate to try and open up a way to going back in there again with the breaking ball.
Did he go around? Yes, he did. Upton's out of the check swing and disagrees with the call. He mutters as he heads back to the third base dugout, and he's out number 1. Paul Byrd was 7 years old the last time the Braves played here in Texas. That's our Coors timeless moment. We go all the way back to 2002, the first series for the Braves in Texas. And they put on a show in the Lone Star State. 5 homers in a 3-game sweep.
Some pretty good names on that list, and I'm wondering if that's why they traded for Andrew.
Fly foul off the bat of Ryan Domit. Here's something else the Braves are scratching their heads about. You mentioned Evan Gattis and his ability to be a DH. Ryan Domit has served in that role for years. Going back the last couple of years, the Braves have been very successful in interleague play, but their designated hitters haven't hit. How do you explain that?
Well, the only way really to explain it, if you have an American League team, they will go get a big free agent that struggles in the field but can flat out hit. Going to the National League, it doesn't pay to go grab that guy. So usually the guy that you insert in the DH role is a bench player that hasn't seen pitching all year.
So it's a rhythm and feel thing for a guy like a Domit or a Gattis or a Ramiro Pena, whomever, in that situation. Whereas in the National League, you're in the flow of the game, but you get one crack at the opposing team.
Your team's just built to have a DH on it in that American League, where in the National League, you don't spend money there or go and grab that guy.
Popped up to right. Odor drifts out, and he'll make the play for out number 2. But we were all kind of scratching our heads when we saw that number, like, well, the Braves have had some guys that have done good work as DHs, at least you think, but last or close to it the last 3 years in interleague play.
It's just simply a different role, coming off the bench and being in the game the whole time.
A strike to Chris Johnson, who has one of the Braves' hits tonight. Holland has been impressive. His 3rd start since coming back from knee surgery. And you can see why the Rangers would say, boy, they've really missed him in rotation. It's not a lot of pitches, but his slider's been effective. He's got 5 strikeouts. He's scattered 7 hits. And when he's been in trouble in a couple of innings, he's held the Braves to only 1 run tonight.
My only critique with Holland, Chip, is the mustache. I kind of feel like he doesn't know if he wants to grow one or not. That need for him to make a decision and be ready to go.
Fly ball to center. Martin comes in. He's got it. And that will retire Atlanta in the 6th. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for Texas. Alex Wood back to work with a 1-run lead. clinch of the National League wildcard race, where the Giants continue to be red hot. They are in Los Angeles this weekend. You see their remaining schedule. Their opponents have a combined winning percentage of under 500. Not the same story for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The story there, Paul, 4 critical games with the Braves. In fact, those are the final 4 home games for Atlanta in regular season play. And Milwaukee, thankfully for the Braves, they've had a horrible 3-week stretch, and they've played themselves into dire circumstances as well in National League play. And there you see it on the board. Milwaukee a half game ahead of the Braves, a game and a half behind the Pirates. Advantage for the Braves. They've got 4 head-to-head with the Buccos. And a high fly ball by Arancibia down the left field line. He pulled it foul.
It was close. Getting back to the standings, I love this time of year. I want to see who's going to come alive. I want somebody to inspire me. Last start, Aaron Harang inspired me. He'd been having trouble, but he walked into the Nats, threw a great game. And, you know, we picked him up from the island of misfit toys. Nobody wanted him. And here he is in the biggest start of the year against the Nats. Totally shuts him down, gets a base hit. And now I'm waiting, as are all the Braves fans, to see who's going to step up and make a great run.
Well, it's got to come from the offense. Pitching's been excellent. Same story for Wood tonight. He leads by 1. With Arancibia up there. Story for Alex really simple. He's 10-10 this year. In his 7 wins, the Braves have scored 35 runs. In his 9 losses, they've scored a total of 12 runs. That tells the story for Alex. Pitch popped up and over the Rangers dugout for another foul ball from Arancibia.
Chip, he has got such a good changeup. We talked about it before the game. Not an easy pitch to throw. It comes off the in-3 fingers, and you see right there, it just dies. And I asked him, where did you learn that? He said, when I was 12 years old in Little League.
That is a fair ball over the bag. And Arancibia around first is on his way to second base. And he leads off with a double. Chris Johnson was pointing to the Braves dugout. He thought that ball was foul. Adrian Johnson's the third base umpire. And Freddie Gonzalez is out for a chat to ask if that is a reviewable play. Let's take a look.
We'll see what they decide to do. That was a breaking ball. Now the bag is in play. So when you see that ball hit foul in foul territory, it can still be a fair ball if it goes over the bag. And I think that's what Freddie is questioning.
It's my understanding that balls batted in front of the bag are not reviewable. If it goes over the bag, fair. It doesn't matter where it lands beyond the bag. And so apparently that call is going to stand. It is a 2-base hit. So that represents the tying run. And once again, Alex Wood has to face Beltre with a man in scoring position. Gilder Rodriguez will come on and pinch run. And with the sore foot of Arancibia, Tim Bogar has to get a healthy and faster runner out there in a 1-run game. Beltre has struck out twice.
Now with nobody out, it's tough to pitch around Beltre. If you had 2 outs right here, or even 1 out, you could make your pitches. And if you don't make the exact pitch you want to, and it's late in the count, you just walk them or put them on first. But with nobody out, it's really tough to do that.
Beltre, an aggressive hitter, and Wood has used that as a weapon.
And there's that nasty changeup I was talking about. And you reminded me, I'm not Vin Scully. I can't get in a story, so I've got to work a little quicker with the stories.
1 ball, 1 strike.
You have nothing to say to that.
No, just keep on rolling, pal. Wood's rolling too. 71 RBIs for Beltre. With 8 hits in his last 44 at bats with a runner in scoring position. Maybe a classic case of a man trying to do a little too much at the plate. Look at the movement on this pitch.
And again, he's worked Beltre in with curveballs in his first at-bat. Now he's going changeup away. Second time he's gone back to a well with that changeup. It's 1-2. He can go in with the fastball here, curveball down and in, or the changeup away. Everything is open.
Rodriguez leads at second. A shot to right field, a base hit. Look at that ball hydroplane. Hayward got to it quickly, and runner at third is Rodriguez. Beltre with a base hit. So Texas men at the corners, nobody out.
After throwing the changeup away, he picks fastball in and just does not get it there. Ball stayed out over. That's the two-seamer. You can see Beltre taking it the other way. Got to give credit. That's a good piece of hitting. He missed his spot, but it was not that bad of a pitch.
So here's Rua. He's popped out and doubled. And no margin for error for Alex Wood. Let's see how the Braves play it here. You know, Alex would love a strikeout in this spot. We've got the catcher, Chirinos, waiting on deck. Braves appear to be playing for two. They'd surrender the tie for the twin killing. Ball one.
I want you to look at this outfield, and you notice what's really unusual is you look how Jason Hayward is all the way out there in right field up against the wall. And it's just, they're shaded to the right, so they know that this guy can hit opposite field. He's got some power. And they know about that jet stream to right.
In there for a strike. Even count. Slow roller toward third. Johnson concedes the run. The throw to first in time. Rua brings home Rodriguez, and our game is tied 1-1. Beltre at second on the ground ball out to third. So Texas makes contact in a contact situation, and we're tied.
Alex Wood goes curveball into the righty right here. Chris Johnson's only play to first base.
So here's Chirinos. He has struck out and walked. Missed opportunities costing the Braves at this point. This ball's popped up to third. Johnson gives way to Simmons, and Andrelton in foul ground is there. And there's out number two. So Odor bats. He is struck out and has grounded out. Texas had some chances too. They had the bases loaded in the fourth and couldn't score. They got a leadoff double from Arancibia here in the sixth. Beltre singled him to third. And Rua's ground out to third base tied it up. New life for that man, Derek Holland. We'll have the bottom part of the Braves order coming up in the seventh. And that's bounced into the Texas dugout. Steve, right one. Bethancourt, a nice stop. Texas will be very careful with Adrian Beltre at second base. He spent some time this year on the DL with a strained left quadriceps. On a cold, wet night tonight. We'll have to think twice on sending him if Odor picks up a hit. He's got a big gap in right center field if he wants to play with that. There's a pitch to do it with, but he fought it off and fouled it away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There was that curveball by Wood, the lefty on lefty curveball. Alex doesn't throw very many lefty on lefty changeups, but the righty gets that pitch, one of his best off-speed pitches. I was trying to talk about it earlier. He picked it up when he was 12 years old. So he's got his motion when he was 9 years old, his changeup when he was 12 years old, and he's brought the same things into big league games. And I think my point in saying that, Chip, is if you're a young man sitting on the couch, go play some wiffle ball, go play some Little League, and then put down that video game controller when the Braves game comes on and watch and learn.
Wood at 93 pitches. And now the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 outside corner. Alex Wood caught Odor looking and has his 8th strikeout. But the Rangers have tied the game after a leadoff double. And the Braves come up in the 7th inning. Tie game in game 1. 1-1 is our score. Because it's trivia time. It's our AT&T Uverse trivia question. Adrian Beltre is one of 2 third basemen to lead the AL or NL hits over the last 25 years. Who's the other man to do it? Last 25 years, only 2 men as third basemen have led either league in hits. Beltre's one. Who's the other? As Bethancourt takes a strike, it's 0-2.
I'm thinking George Brett. That seems too easy because of all the hits that he's got.
So that would be, what was George Brett's last year? His last 25 years. Did George Brett? 99, was he?
92, I believe, was his last year.
Slow roller to third. Tough play. Beltre, and he made it, but it was a late throw. Bethancourt beat the rap at first. And let's see if Tim Bogar climbs to the top step to challenge this bang-bang call at first. He was up there, but apparently Bethancourt was clearly safe.
Outstanding hustle by the big catcher. And let's not forget, Beltre's a Gold Glover. That's an all-in-one motion, nice and smooth. That's a tough play to make, especially when it's been raining.
See if the Braves can chase Bethancourt around with B.J. Upton. B.J. 1 for 2. He scored the Atlanta run tonight. Takes high. Ball 1. Big homestand coming up for Atlanta. We've got the Nationals in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. One of those days is Toga night.
Toga night.
So you and all your sick Delta buddies can show up with a toga at the ballpark. As Upton took a strike, didn't like the call. It's inside. 2 balls and a strike. Yep, Toga night is Tuesday night. That's with the Cole Swindell post-game concert. A 7:10 start with the Nationals in town. Good cut by Upton, fouled straight back. I can just see you, Paul. You look very Caesar-like with the short hairdo. You could come up with the toga. You put the olive branches in your hair. We could all say Hail Caesar and get after it on the pregame show.
I do have the Caesar look going, the big forehead. Twigs and leaves would look nice over my right ear, but I will not be wearing a toga.
Why not?
I haven't been working out a lot lately. I don't think I can rock it.
It's all about the attitude, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Look at me.
You're in shape. You're a specimen.
Yeah. Right.
But you don't have the Caesar hair. You got way too much, and it's wavy.
It's horrible.
It makes me sick.
It's a big problem. 2-2 pitch is rifled out of play. Foul. Good at bat continues for B.J. Upton. So a lot of great things on tap for the homestand. Monday night, we've got the No Place for Hate anti-bullying rally. Brian Jordan will be hosting that at 5:30 in the Fan Plaza. Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign. Cole Swindell concert on Tuesday night. Wednesday, Tom Glavine bobblehead night. First, second, and third final chances to come boo the Nationals for the final time in 2014 as Upton is retired for out number 1. Braves postseason tickets go on sale this Monday, September 10th at 10 a.m. You can get your tickets at braves.com/postseason. Postseason tickets, as always, go fast. Seats for the Braves wild card and National League Division Series games will be on sale Monday, September 15th at 10 a.m. Postseason is right around the corner. The close nature of all these races, might see some play-in games before the playoffs start. Andrews drifts back off the bat of Andrelton Simmons. He handles that for the second out of the inning. Maybe Jerome can wear the toga. What do you think?
I think he's got a few in his closet. He'll be ready to go.
Togas and pointy shoes don't work. He'd have to go with the sandals, and I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can manage that.
I don't know. Maybe the pedicure before he breaks out the sandals. A little funky. But how about Derek Holland with 110 pitches coming off surgery, third start back, continuing to make the pitch, the timely pitch, the pitch on the inside part of the plate. You have to give him credit, and I'm ready to get into these guys' bullpen.
It's been busy for a while. Maybe this will be Holland's final inning. We'll see. As Hayward hits with a man at first, and he takes a strike. Wilson's gotten on base twice tonight. He has the lone Atlanta RBI. He's also singled. But bases loaded, 2 outs in the third. They settled for 1 run. First and third. Nobody out in the fifth. Double play took us out of the inning. Now Atlanta hasn't been able to advance a leadoff man here in the 7th inning. Fly ball to left. And that's handled for the third and final out. Derek Holland continues his impressive work for the Texas Rangers. 113 pitches in the ball game. And Texas will have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up in the bottom half of the frame here in game 1 of our series from Globe Life Park. It's been a long time since Atlanta has played the Rangers here in Texas. Beautiful place, great fans, and a good number have shown up on a drizzly, dreary night during a frustrating and disappointing year. Time for God Bless America here in Arlington. Baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. Braves fans, don't miss Fan Appreciation Week when the Braves take on the Pirates Monday, September 22nd through Thursday the 25th. Mystery Gate giveaways all series long. Go to Braves.com/tickets to secure your seats today. And folks, that is going to be a gigantic series for the Braves and Pittsburgh. You know about Atlanta standing in the wild card race. 4 games head-to-head with the Pirates could determine Atlanta's postseason fate. We hope big numbers of you will turn out for that set with the battling Buccos. So Alex Wood goes to work in the 7th inning. He's got the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up. And a quick strike. Michael Choice, a former first-round pick. He's a 3-year collegian at the University of Texas, Arlington. He went to Mansfield Timberview High School. But it's not been a happy homecoming for him at the plate this year. He's had some defensive issues, as we've also seen tonight. But all could be forgiven if that ball stays fair. It can't. And on a play for a strike, it's 0-2. Good crowd here tonight. 27,547.
You can see David Carpenter starting to warm up in that Braves bullpen. Woody doing a great job, but he's getting up there in pitches a little bit, as you can see him blowing on his hand a little bit. Freddie Gonzalez got a few choices to make. And you know, we talked about Woody not getting run support earlier.
At second, Gosselin to his right, and he got choice by a step and a half, 1 out.
Tonight being no different. The Braves only scoring 1 run. And the Braves have got the hits, but it's that timely hit. It's the first and third with nobody out that Holland's gotten out of.
Yeah, the need to make contact when contact was called for. It didn't happen for Atlanta.
And there's no way to coach or teach that. You can't teach team chemistry. You can't coach or teach the timely hit. You can teach approach and a batter going up there and being more patient and looking for pitches and doing your homework, but it doesn't always necessarily mean that you can execute.
But that's, again, Paul, I think we would all agree that that's the one bewildering aspect of this Braves team in 2014. There have been times where this club blisters the baseball and runs off 7, 8, 9 wins in a row. Also times where the Braves would go through stretches of 1 run in 31 innings or so.
As you see the PNC pitch tracks, said it was a ball off the plate, but we'll take it.
And a swing and a miss by Robertson, and the peg to first is Wood's 9th strikeout. And to your point about run support, you're learning a lot about the backbone of Alex Wood. You can pout and complain about what you don't get, or make lemonade out of lemons and say, okay, I'm getting 1 run, I'm going to make it stand up as long as I can. And by and large, I think Alex has done that all year.
He really has. And statistically speaking, you usually do not come into your own as a pitcher until you're 31 years old.
Slow dribbler off the bat of Martin. Simmons got rid of it quickly, and an 8-pitch inning sends this game to the 8th inning. Big bats coming up for Atlanta. Gosselin, Freeman, and Upton in a tie game. Impressive night for Alex Wood. Part of our Blimpie game summary. 9 strikeouts for Alex over 7 innings. Derek Holland, his 3rd start of the year, was terrific. No walks, 6 strikeouts in his 7 innings tonight. Hayward and Rua are the men with the runs batted in. We showed you an amazing graphic on Derek Holland earlier tonight. This is his 3rd start of 7 innings or more, where he's allowed no walks and 1 run or less. The entire Texas team in their other 144 games has done that once. You see Sean Tolleson, the new Texas pitcher. So for a Texas club, Paul, that has had so much misery in 2014, Derek Holland has given them a big lift tonight. He will get a no decision. as the Braves get after Tollison here in the 8th inning. A Texas pen that has been hit hard of late. Tollison's been one of their better performers. He's pitched scoreless baseball in 8 of his last 9 appearances. The only blemish, a 2-run homer to Kendry Morales on Friday. And he is homer prone. He has surrendered 10 home runs. That's tied for most among all relievers in the American League with Koji Uehara of the Red Sox. Braves have Freeman and Upton lurking after Gosselin. So the home run ball, a potential outcome here. And that's over the inside corner. Gosselin took it for a called third strike. 1 out.
I think Gosselin was looking breaking ball there as he faced the fastball. Tollison does a really nice job of the continual arm, starting up at the high hands. You see the hands start high, and watch how his arm just stays continual throughout the delivery. Arm back behind him so that you can't see it. And bringing the noise on the inside part of the plate. And that's it. That's a pretty good day's work.
Yeah, he struck out Phil Gosselin. It's a 1-hitter appearance. And Texas will go into a very deep bullpen with the September call-ups for Tim Bogar's ball club. Let's take a look at tonight's Synovus Greatness Made Here feature. We told you Mike Maddox is the pitching coach for the Texas Rangers. His brother, Greg Maddox, as you know, was inducted into Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame this summer. And Greg honored his brother a moment earlier this summer.
Everything I was about to do on and off the field, he had already done. I was very fortunate to have a brother that I could learn from. He even taught me a little bit about science. It has to do with a little methane and a lighter, and I still get a huge kick out of it today.
Only Greg Maddox would get away with a line like that at the Hall of Fame.
But that's him. Brilliant, a little bit different, and colorful. I thought Mike Maddox had the line of that Hall of Fame ceremony concerning his brother. When asked what trait most impresses you about your brother Greg, I was ready for him to say the two-seamer into lefties, the changeup, the win total, and he said Greg's humility. And I can attest to that, being a teammate of Greg Maddox. As good as he was, you didn't walk around the locker room and have to hear how great he was. And that's refreshing.
Well, this is Mike Maddox's 6th season as the Rangers pitching coach. They have posted 4 straight years coming into this season of ERAs below 4. We've talked a lot about this offense happy ballpark, even the old ballpark across the street, which no longer exists. It's the 2nd time in Texas history that that's happened, to have 4 straight years of 4 earned runs or less. So Mike is a very highly respected pitching coach who, again, has gone into these big league battles at less than 100%. But he got one of his weapons back tonight, and Texas has allowed the Braves only a run. So new pitcher on for the Rangers. It's Michael Kirkman, a lefty, out of Lake City, Florida. And he delivers a strike to Freddie Freeman. Rangers might play matchup lefty-righty lefty here. All the arms they have available.
And you can see that infield shift on against Freddie Freeman. The scouting report showing you that he likes to hit the ball on the ground to the right side. But notice how the outfielders are playing straight up, meaning if the pitcher elevates the ball, he hits the ball in the air the other way.
Something off speed, and Freeman took it.
see that nice curveball that's just off the outside part of the plate.
This is where I think interleague play this time of year is so difficult for teams in contention. These games and their importance are magnified so much. And now you have expanded rosters. You have players you've not seen since these teams haven't hooked up in at least 3 years. I wonder how anybody gets a hit in a game like this for either side. And on a nasty night, this hasn't exactly been an offensive juggernaut kind of game. Just 12 combined hits and 2 runs.
You're right, and it's tougher on the hitter because as a pitcher, you have a scouting report on that hitter. But when you bring a guy in that doesn't have a lot of time in the big leagues and you're facing him at the plate, a lot of times you really don't know what to expect. And as you say, a lot's on the line.
Freeman coaxes a walk. So Kirkman can't retire Freeman. And again, the Rangers will match up. They have a right-hander up in their bullpen. Phil Klein was up and warming. And Tim Bogar, with a long look out there, will summon Mr. Klein to face Justin Upton. Third pitcher of the inning coming on for the Rangers. Braves have a threat with 1 out in the 8th.
Georgia Lottery, Toyota, and AT&T, mobilizing your world.
1-1 game. Freeman at first, 1 out. We'll tell you who the new pitcher is in a moment, Paul.
Well, I got to give a shout out to bench coach Bobby Jones. 24 years as a minor league manager. But what I'm most impressed about, after 9/11, he spent 14 months in Vietnam serving in the Army back in the 70s. I love the flags on everybody's cap, the national anthem. We've sung God Bless America. And as tough as the season has been for the Rangers, if you go ask that guy, he will tell you immediately, you know what? It could be worse. They could be shooting at you.
Yeah, he was presented one of his military honors here the other night, was he not?
The Bronze Star.
I think the story was when he came back from Vietnam, went right back into professional baseball. So he never had a chance to have his Bronze Star officially awarded to him. And that ceremony took place here the other night. What an amazing honor that had to be. As you see, 6'7" Phil Klein out of Youngstown State. His 14th game this year. He's got Justin Upton staring him down. Upton tonight 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. And a nice story, a 30th round draft pick back in 2011. like to hear stories like that. We talk all the time about the first round picks, the first 10 round picks, 30 rounders. Boy, that's as long a long shot as you can have, it seems, in pro ball. Yet here he is pitching in the big leagues in his first season.
What a great pitching frame right there at 6'7", long arms, long legs, a lot of leverage. Hitters will tell you that when you come over the top with that fastball and you see it from that high angle, if they're able to get that downward plane, it's hard to pick up on that, and the ball goes in and out of the zone at a downward tilt. Makes it really hard to connect.
Upton laid off. Tough pitch. 2-2. Milwaukee 2, Reds 2. That game late in Milwaukee. Pirates 7-3 over the Cubs. That one's in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Now watch as he comes set. You're going to see his back legs start to wiggle a little bit. It's actually a balk because you can't come set with movement. But if you do it every time, the umpire will give you credit for staying consistent and not trying to deceive the runner.
And that's helped the Braves out tonight. They beat Washington. The Nationals fell 4-3 today. And a wins here, they could pick up a game in the division. That is a rare win for the Mets at home against the Nationals. Joe and I were talking about that the other night. Coming into play tonight, the Nationals had won 26 of their last 30 games at Citi Field. They were beaten tonight. That's good news. Gio Gonzalez and Dylan Jr. the starters there. The pitch, runner goes, swing and a miss. Chirinos' throw is way high, off the glove of Odor and into center field. On his way to third is Freeman, and he'll make it safely. Upton struck out. Freeman stole second. He took third on the errant throw. And now the Braves have the go-ahead run at third base, but there are 2 outs.
Well, Freddie's talked about when they forget to pay attention to Freeman, he'll steal the base. And you see that pop up as he slides in. He looks to the outfield, and a great job of heading straight into third base, holding that helmet for a little protection.
So Ryan Domit, the Braves DH, switch hits, as you know. He's got a chance to come up with a big 2-out hit here for the Braves. One thing to think about, well, they're going to pitch around it. They'll go after Chris Johnson, an intentional walk. I say, though, the thing to remember in a situation like this, wet baseball, we've seen balls skipping all over the place at the plate. If Chirinos can't block one, Freeman's got to be ready and try to scamper home and break the tie. That opportunity may come with Chris Johnson in the batter's box. So first and third again for the Braves. That has left 6 on base unofficially to this point. And now Mike Maddox will come out and give Klein a scouting report on Chris. Bonifacio will come on and pinch run for Domit in the 8th inning.
Mike Maddox is just going over the scouting report right here, making sure everybody's on the same page. Obviously, this is a huge at-bat. You have a hitter at the plate who's played all year. You look at that scouting report, you go out and make sure that everybody understands what you're going to do.
Chris is going good. He's got that sweet inside-out swing that'll just serve a ball between the first and second baseman. You have the advantage of Rua holding Bonifacio at first. Odor is playing up the middle. So if Chris can guide one into right field with Choice playing deep out there, Atlanta could be in business in the 8th inning. Braves fans chanting, Rangers fans trying to boo him down. Strike one.
And I don't know what the Texas Rangers chant is, if it involves a cowboy hat or what. But I cannot believe all the Braves fans I'm seeing here at the stadium chop. And I got to say this, Chip, they're winning.
No balls and a strike. Little low. Good eye. Klein wanted that pitch.
I would have too, but don't tell Chris Johnson. I like what Chris is doing here as he steps out and is taking his time getting in the box, slowing the game down, looking for a pitch. Great approach.
In the dirt, Bonifacio took off, and he'll stand at second base. That's the ball I was talking about, and a great job by Chirinos to save a wild pitch. Bonifacio steals second. Now a hit could score two. Two balls and a strike. There's a base open with Bethancourt in the on-deck circle. As you said earlier, he doesn't have to give in here. Let's see what happens on the 3-1 count. Caught a corner.
As you said, Chip, first base is open, so he can be a little cautious here. There was a 3-1 slider, 85 miles an hour on the outside part of the plate. Usually a put-away pitch, but here they're going to throw breaking balls behind in the count. See if Chris Johnson will chase.
Payoff pitch. Struck him out. Tipped and caught by Chirinos. And the Braves leave two more on base. No runs, no hits, two left. Big boppers up for Texas. 1-1 game. Here in Texas. Country music fans, hope you'll join us at Turner Field Tuesday night the 16th as Cole Swindell performs after the Braves Nationals game. It's our final show of the summer concert series, brought to you by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. VIP field passes are available for the show. They're just $20. Get your tickets today at Braves.com. More great work for Alex Wood. 7 innings of 4-hit 1-run baseball, but again, all no-run support for him. And he will depart this game with a no decision. David Carpenter takes over with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters up for the Rangers.
David Carpenter starting to pitch much better as of late. The converted catcher who throws fuel, and I like that that walk to strikeout ratio. David Carpenter also an avid, what's the right word? Really cool car enthusiast as he visited the Gas Monkey Grill. I'm sorry, the Gas Monkey Garage yesterday. And one of his passions.
Did he pick you up a 68 Camaro SS convertible?
He didn't, but I think that's what Holland drives, is the Camaro, because of the kind of the cheese stash. I don't think you would see that selection out of David Carpenter.
No?
No. I'm thinking more of a
Hemi?
Mustang, black Mustang. Yeah. Really loud with no muffler.
Broken bat, pop, shallow center. Upton coming on, is going to get there. Andrews hoped for a blue pit. Taken away by BJ, who makes a basket catch. There's out number 1.
That was a nice read by BJ Upton. Sometimes when that ball jams a hitter and the line drive is coming straight at you, it's hard to get a read. He did a nice play. Nice job on that play by getting a good jump.
So Rodriguez, you might recall, came on as a pinch runner. And he shows bunt and takes a ball. And ball, no strikes. Gilder Rodriguez. 13 minor league seasons. Last 6 in the Rangers system, and here he is. 31 years old, getting a chance to play in the show. Another cool story.
Yes, it is.
And lined out of play foul.
It's nice to see Tim Bogart rewarding him, getting him in that lineup, and him getting a chance to play at this level. I'll tell you, the minor leagues is worth 2 or 3 years in big league years. It's hard getting on the school buses. The food's different. The schedule's different. You have to learn how to sleep sitting up. And this guy has paid his dues.
Bouncer to the right side. That's tough play. Carpenter, quick shovel from Freeman. Got there in time. Good play. That was almost perfectly placed, but Freeman and Carpenter combined for the second out.
Carpenter, nice jump off the mound. This is not easy because as a pitcher, you cannot look at the base. You have to look at the ball so you can catch it. Then you'd like to look down at the base and touch it, but there's not really time for that. He just happened to hit that base without looking at it. Not an easy play. David Carpenter pulled it off.
Now Adrian Beltre again. A couple of strikeouts and a single for the Rangers' third baseman. He takes a strike. Line drive to right field. Hayward's got to play it safely. So Beltre a 2-single game.
I actually love this pitch selection, Chip. He's read the scouting report on Beltre, who hits fastballs away well. After 2 breaking balls, he throws them the heat inside, 97 miles an hour. No, it wasn't the perfect pitch, but it was a very good one. And I'm surprised that Beltre was able to inside out it for a base hit. Sometimes as a pitcher, you make your pitch, they get a hit, you scratch your head, and you say, bring on the next guy.
And the next guy swung the bat well tonight. Ryan Brua has a double and a ground out that scored the lone Texas run. That was back in the 6th. Knee right at the knees. Giants score 4 in the first at home against the Dodgers in game 1 of that big series. 4-0 San Fran. The pitch going outside. That one is Hyun-Jin Ryu and Madison Bumgarner, who's trying to win his 18th. As the Nevada pen, Avilan and Hale. Should Carpenter experience any more 8th inning trouble?
Avilan going a little better lately, and I got to tip my cap to David Hale this year. Just looking for him to hold things over in April. He pitched fantastic as a starter. Then he went to the pen. He was the long man. He did the job there. Now earning the right to pitch in some very tight ball games and setup situations. That's hard to do in the same season, to go from starter to long relief to setup. And he's done a great job of it.
Similar career path of Alex Wood this year. Started, points to pen. The Braves were having all kinds of trouble with the left-handed side of their relief corps. Then when Gavin Floyd came back, Alex went back down, stayed in the bullpen. Then Floyd got hurt. Alex went to AAA to get stretched out again, and has been a fixture in the rotation ever since.
And you know how much I like Alex Wood because I've been talking about him all night. But you remember when Alex Wood struggled out of the pen? And they said, why? And he said, well, I don't have time to get my changeup warm, my curveball warm, and work both sides of the plate. I've got 4 or 5 pitches, and I need time to get ready. And when you use me out of the pen, I don't have time to do all of that.
And you're taking away 2 very effective weapons for him by pitching him out of the pen. As that ball shot into center field for a hit by Rua. He's got a 2-hit game. And now Texas threatens with back-to-back hits with 2 outs in the inning.
Nice slider on the outside part of the plate. Now watch Rua chip. He just takes a nice, easy swing like he's chipping on the green. Remember, this is the guy that has the most power out of all the young players, and he's shown Tim Bogart right there that he can cut down on his swing and do something with a very good pitch.
That's a terrific game plan, especially the guy throwing as hard as Carpenter. He's going to provide the power, put it in play. With the wet track in the outfield, you force the defense to do a couple of very difficult things. Field it cleanly, throw it accurately with a wet baseball, and then get a tag someplace.
That's it. And if it's a fastball down the middle, you let the big dog eat. You swing away for the home run. But if it doesn't happen for you, and you get 1 or 2 strikes, you cut down on your swing and you put the ball in play. And that way you can still have the high power numbers and the still average numbers that are up there too.
First action back for Robinson Chirinos. Missed the last 10 games with a bad neck. He's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. 2 on, 2 out. Line drive center field. That gets down for a hit. Here comes Beltre around third. Upton's throw is off the back slope of the mound. It gets away from Bethancourt, but the Rangers weren't paying attention. No further advance, and 3 straight singles in the bottom of the 8th inning have given Texas the lead.
There's that slider again on the outside part of the plate. Again, cutting down on the swing and just putting ball in play because the situation calls for it. BJ had a nice throw here, but it hits the mound, as you'll see coming in. And Beltre with the slide.
So the missed opportunities for Atlanta's offense early have bitten them late tonight. 3 straight singles with 2 outs for Texas puts them in front 2-1.
Home Depot. And Blimpie, celebrating 50 years.
Braves postseason tickets go on sale this Monday, September 15th. 10 a.m. will be the opening bell for those ticket sales. Get them today at Braves.com/postseason. Get the best seats for the Braves wild card and National League Division Series games. Braves tonight 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position and an astounding 0 for 7 with a runner at third base. They're down a run in the home eighth. 2-1 Texas is your score. And Luis Avilan is on for the 57th time.
You have to be careful here. You see that 17 walks to 19 strikeouts ratio, which is higher than you like. Avilan coming in to face a lefty on lefty. You're looking for strikes and first pitch breakers.
Rougned Odor is that hitter. He has struck out twice. He's also grounded out. Broken bat and into the seats, foul. Looking ahead to the Atlanta ninth. Bethancourt, B.J. Upton, and Andrelton Simmons, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Atlanta. And Neftali Feliz, another former Braves farmhand, is the man that will come on to pitch the ninth. The only question is, how big will the Rangers lead be? It's 2-1 now. One ball, one strike. Rua at second, Chirinos at first. Pirates beat the Cubs tonight 7-3. Atlanta losing 2-1 to Texas.
Avilan has not had the year that he would have hoped for the Braves. It's not his stuff. From the left side, 92 to 95 miles an hour with a great breaking ball, but he has had trouble with command with both his fastball and curveball. When you come in facing a lefty-lefty, you have to have that breaking ball, the ability to throw it for a strike, or you're going to be in trouble.
Not what the Braves had in mind. A walk to Odor. And now Choice will be the hitter, and he won't face Luis Avilan. Boy, this inning really has disintegrated in a hurry. A pop out, the terrific play at first from Freddie Freeman. 3 straight singles and now a walk has put Texas in front. And now the bases are loaded for David Hale. He'll face Michael Choice when we come back.
may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
Well, I wish I had better news, but the Braves are down 2-1 in the 8th as David Hale comes on. But as promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to #SouthFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast brought to you by AT&T. And that is flat out weird. But if you listen to what my partner Chip Perry said earlier, that's exactly what you wanted. A cowboy with boots, a hat on an ostrich.
Yep. I like it. Kind of looks like Joe Simpson, doesn't it? As David Hale is on for the 42nd time. No margin for error with Michael Choice up there. And he hits a slow roller down the third base line, foul for a single strike. What you love about David is his ability to get the ball on the ground.
Yes, he does. You'd like to see a better strikeout to walk ratio, but he throws 3 or 4 different pitches, as we talked about, different roles this year. What you love is that 2.85 ERA in 79 innings. That's a lot of innings, and he has done the job. So you want to see that ground ball, that good power sinker. Maybe you get a double play, get out of this inning.
Yeah, heartbreak for David up in Washington in the Pfister minor game. David came on in a big mess, bases loaded, got the ground ball, but the ball ticked off the end of his glove, took a tricky hop. Listella was handcuffed. Tommy couldn't start a clean double play. And Washington scored the second run in the 7th inning, which proved to be the difference in a 2-1 Nationals game. He delivered a strike there to Choice, who's behind 0-2 now. Swing and a miss. Good work by David Hale. He comes in with the bases loaded and strikes out Choice on 3 pitches. Now the real tough work begins. Bottom part of the order up for the Braves, and Neftali Feliz coming on for Texas. Tough hombre will face him for the Rangers. Before we tell you about the new pitcher, let's revisit our AT&T Uverse trivia question. Over the last 25 years, only 2 National League or American League third basemen have led their league in hits. Name the other man to do what Adrian Beltre has done.
I'm sticking with George Brett because I played for Kansas City, and I think Gretchen's trying to trick me.
Okay, I was going to say Chipper Jones. Let's see if it's Brett or Chipper. It's not. Well, Terry's going to be mad at us.
That hurts.
Did it 2 years.
I'm sorry, Terry. I didn't mean it.
By the way, that's the lean and mean Terry Pendleton. He looks terrific.
He does look good.
Lost about 15 pounds, he told me. He's looking and feeling great.
Let's hope that he's been doing some shoulder weights and he swings somebody to second with that arm action.
Yeah. But tough to get hits against Neftali Feliz, the former Braves farmhand. He came over in that big deal with Mark Teixeira. The problem for Feliz, health. 40 saves in his rookie year in 2010, 32 saves in 2011, then Tommy John surgery, which cost him 2 seasons. And as you see, he's only pitched in 24 games this year. Spent the 2012 season, you recall, in the starting rotation. That was one of the interesting dilemmas for Texas. Should he close or should he start? Well, he's back in the bullpen now and trying to nail down the save. And really kicked the Braves in the solar plexus in the start of this weekend series. Bethancourt gets it started. Christian's got an infield hit in 3 tries. Right on that pitch, and it's fouled back. Last 6 appearances, Feliz 5 1/3 scoreless. He's converted 5 straight save chances. Braves signed him as a non-drafted free agent when he was 17 years old. All the way back in 2005. That's the one thing you can't bank on, is health. But, lost season plus due to Tommy John surgery, some shoulder problems. Feliz is back and trying to close the game tonight. A sweeper, and Bethancourt missed it by a foot. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This is a nasty 85-mile-an-hour slider. You see the dot and the bottom falls out of it. Some sliders just go to the side. When you get on top and finish it, they go straight down.
One out. There was the slider again. Here's B.J. Upton. He swung the bat well tonight, and he did the other night in Washington. He's on yellow brand, bringing the lumber.
Nice pitch on the inside part of the plate. B.J. gets into it and crushes it. Everybody's full of high fives, and I think that was the hit that got everybody started against Strasburg.
Upton, the only Brave to score tonight. He led off the 3rd with a single. Went to 3rd on a Simmons hit. Came home on a Hayward ground out. Braves loaded the bases in that 3rd inning, settled for only 1 run. Adam 1st and 3rd in the 5th. Didn't score. Adam 2nd and 3rd in the 8th. Didn't score.
There's nothing wrong with that elbow. It looks great. He's throwing easy gas at 95, 96 miles an hour. I can tell you, as somebody that's had Tommy John surgery, they take a tendon, put it in your elbow. It has to change properties and become a ligament, which is stronger than a tendon. That process takes 4 months. You feel pretty good at a year out.
Fly ball to left. That'll be caught for the 2nd out.
But usually, Chip, it takes that good year and a half before you start pitching pain-free. Most people, 90% at some point in the process, tear scar tissue. You feel like you've done it again, and it's just not an easy process to come back from. The good news is 95% of pitchers that have it come back to where they were before, and it's a surgery that you can throw even harder than when you went in under the knife.
Did the Braves have a 2-out miracle in the 9th? Simmons with 2 hits and 3 tries. Ball 1. Fly ball right field. Choice is back near that wall. He's got it. And the Rangers have beaten the Braves. Simmons gave it a ride in the 9th inning. But the Texas Rangers beat Atlanta by a final score of 2-1. This was the 37th time this year the Braves offense scored 1 run or less. Back with more in a moment.